They say it takes a village to raise a child, because children need a lot of different people to look out for them. Families can use all the help they can get. After all, no parent is perfect. That's why McCoy leads the Early Intervention and Prevention Initiative. We want to showcase all of the excellent programs in our city that help families learn and grow together. Because when we learn and grow together, we make our village a better place to live. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this episode of Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities.
Hello, welcome to Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities. I'm Latasha Hudson, the Early Intervention Prevention Initiative Director for the Marion County Commission on Youth, also known as McCoy. Today we're going to talk about nutrition, tips for being healthy, and also we're going to talk about things that we can do in our everyday lives to ensure that we are being physically fit as well as being nutritionally healthy. So today I have Hannah. Hannah's with the American Dairy Association, and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Great, thank you. I'm really excited to be able to be here with you so we can chat a little bit today about nutrition. I'm very passionate about that. My name is Hannah Kelly, and I'm a registered dietitian, and I work for the American Dairy Association Indiana, as you mentioned. I've had a background working with a multitude of people over the years, and so coming to dairy just kind of helps me to get my foothold into agriculture as well, which is something that a lot of dietitians are passionate about too.
Awesome. Well, you know, everybody hears American Dairy Association. The first thing they think is winners drink milk.
Yay!
So tell us a little bit about how American Dairy Association focuses not only on milk, but as well as overall health.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. We have a multitude of programs at the office. Just the Dairy Association in general talks to people about not only the health and nutritional value in dairy, but essentially about all foods. The USDA has guidelines through My Plate. So have you heard of My Plate?
I've heard a little bit about it, but tell us more, because maybe our audience is not aware.
Sure. I brought just a few props today.
Awesome.
So if you're not familiar with My Plate, at least you can see this replaced the pyramid that we used to learn about in school.
Oh, yeah.
So now the My Plate is just a little bit more of a visual to say this is what a portion size on your plate should maybe look like.
Okay.
So when we talk to people about nutritional value, we want them to eat from all of the food groups. And of course, we concentrate just a little bit more on dairy in our area because that's what we love so much.
Right.
But it fits in as part of the overall plate and a healthy eating opportunity in general.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you brought in for us.
Awesome. Well, I thought really it would be a good idea for us to talk just a little bit about portion sizes.
Okay.
So I have a few examples here that you can see there's some measuring cups, which at home I'm not very good at using all of the time.
Me neither. A pinch of this and a pinch of that.
Exactly. So it's helpful when you're scooping out a portion to just sort of have a visual to know what it is exactly that you're trying to consume for your size. So there's a deck of cards here to sort of signify what a 3-ounce serving of meat would be, potentially, for an adult. There is a baseball here that is a cup-sized serving. So if you're trying to get that spoon with the cup out, you can visualize a baseball. A half a cup looks more like a tennis ball, so just a little bit smaller. We have a book of matches here, which would be a pat of butter.
Okay.
So just there's more than one way to look at serving sizes, and there's information like this on USDA's site as well.
Awesome. And then back there in the back, a lot of times when people are focused on health, they always think, I have to lose weight. I have to lose weight.
Sure.
So they don't think about what that may look like when it comes to like what you're eating.
Yeah.
So back there you have an example of.
I know, isn't this crazy? This is a pound of fat, if you can see this closely from where you are. So a pound of fat, it doesn't look very pretty, number one, but it's a more attainable goal if we think about, overall for our nutrition, and not to consider, I need to lose 10 pounds, or my doctor said I need to lose 20 pounds. Just consider a pound at a time, and it's going to make immense difference for your body. So this little blob right here can come off of wherever it is that you're trying to get those areas. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat.
Okay.
So if you think about making smaller changes in your meals each day, maybe you shave off 100 calories here or there based on a better choice. Maybe you only ate 1 cookie instead of 2, or maybe you chose a lower fat milk instead of a higher fat milk that particular day. that will help get you to the 3,500 calories to get rid of that pound.
Fantastic. I know a lot of times people, when they look at nutrition, they're like, well, I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to cut that out. And what they end up doing is cutting out a lot of the things that they really need because they're not sure how to cut the calories out.
Yeah.
What do you suggest they do, and where should they go to find more information to ensure they're cutting out the right things?
Stuff. That's a great question. I'm an all foods fit kind of girl.
Okay.
So I feel like, and I think many dietitians would agree, that if we completely eliminate certain food groups, not only are we running the risk of losing some of the nutritional value that comes from that food, but maybe some of the enjoyment too. If you really liked something in that particular food group, you like ice cream, or you like having a piece of toast, you eliminate that, and now you don't enjoy it, and you're not going to follow it. It's not going to be a more sustainable option for you in the long run.
Okay.
So I encourage people to look at all of the food groups and choose an appropriate portion size for themselves. Just think about the frequency that you might eat something and how much of it that you're eating, so that you kind of make things a little bit more well-rounded for yourself. Choose My Plate. So through the USDA is a good place to find more information so that you can kind of tailor the amount of calories. It gives you information on all the food groups there as well.
Okay.
It's a good resource for people to utilize. Our website, if they're more particularly curious about dairy in general, is another option because we do have more resources there. Particularly if somebody were to tell me they were lactose intolerant or something like that, because there are dairy options for somebody who's lactose intolerant. So it would be another way to sort of get information about the food groups.
Yeah, because I hear a lot of people say, I'm lactose intolerant, and then they'll just cut dairy out altogether.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of options, like you said, for them.
Absolutely. There's lactose-free milk, which is the same nutritional value as any other cow's milk. It is cow's milk. It just doesn't have the lactose in it, so it would be easier for that person to digest. Some cheeses, harder cheeses, can be easier for that person to eat, or just breaking it up into smaller portions instead of having an 8-ounce glass to have 2 ounces and then have 2 more ounces later, that kind of thing. Or yogurt.
Fantastic. Well, I know when I saw the baseball and you said that's like a cup, I thought about 2 baseballs, especially when it comes to 2 cups of ice cream, because I know American Dairy Association is definitely correlated to a lot of things that happen at the Indiana State Fair.
Sure.
So, everybody's got to go to the dairy barn.
So
there's a lot of other things that American Dairy Association is associated with in our community.
Sure.
Tell us about some of the programs and activities that that you're noted for.
Sure, besides just the nutrition part that I get to do.
Right.
I gotcha. So absolutely, the State Fair, as you mentioned, is one way that we're out in the community.